Hi. Have you ever lost your keys, lost your phone? I tend to do that multiple times a day, it seems like. But have you ever worried about getting Alzheimer's disease or dementia because of your memory? I'm going to share with you one thing I wish I had known when my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's about 2.5 years ago. Through my mom's journey with Alzheimer's, I feel like I've gotten a master's degree in dementia. I wish I would have had that at the beginning, but her story started around November 2017. It was so subtle at first. It was just like she'd forget a word, or maybe she'd say something a couple of times, and you're just kind of like, is that right? But it got more often, and we started to get concerned about it. So we talked to her neurologist, which she had a neurologist because about 4.5 years before that she had been diagnosed with Parkinson's. So she had been dealing with that. And when we talked to a neurologist, the neurologist didn't seem particularly concerned. Well, fast forward 4 months, and we were very concerned. And I was Googling it, trying to figure out what's going on. I basically forced the neurologist to do an MRI, because they're actually supposed to do that to see if there is a stroke or some kind of brain bleed or some other, reason for what's happening. And unfortunately, which seems weird to say, but unfortunately the MRI didn't reveal anything major. So by July of 2018 now, we finally had her assessed, because she continued to climb. So by July of 2018, we had her assessed by a neuropsychologist, and his findings in like 5 hours of testing, my poor mom, his findings were that she had not only Parkinson's disease dementia, but also Alzheimer's disease. Both are just forms of dementia that happen in different areas of the brain and therefore affect different types of day-to-day functioning. So anyway, she was diagnosed with both of those. So from November of 2017 to now all the way to July of 2020, she went from stage 2, very mild cognitive decline, to between stage 4 and 5, like moderately severe to severe. Some things are still moderate, some things are in the severe range now. Well, what I didn't know, the one thing I wish I would have known in the early stages of hers, was that there's a lot you can do. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do to halt, and in many cases reverse that decline. But nobody told us that. So we continued forward, watched her decline without ever being told there was something that we could have been doing other than medication that's worthless. Alzheimer's disease medications, there's a couple of them, they're worthless, and actually others recommend, there's lots of research saying they do more damage than they are helpful, and they certainly don't reverse or prevent anything. So anyway, very unhappy, very angry about the fact that there's something we could have been doing, but we were never told about it. And other neurologists around the country and around the world are there's an actual protocol, and they're using that protocol to make those improvements and reverse the decline. And it was so frustrating to learn that. That research has been out there for years, and there have been several gold standard level research, more than one, that have showed that the protocol is effective and helpful. And the gold standard, if you're not familiar, is the double-blind, placebo-controlled, high-end study. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of work to do those studies, and there's been more than one of them showing that. So when I learned about that, and the first thing I asked was, can we still do anything? Is it too late? And basically, when you get to the severe stages, there's so much damage already in the brain. The neurons and synapses are damaged that recovery is very unlikely. And so I was just freaking livid. I mean, I was just beyond angry when I asked her neurologist why in the hell we weren't told that this research was out there and this protocol, he didn't even know about it. He said there's no cure or treatment. There's these medications that basically do nothing. But you know what? Ignorance does not make that true. So I've since read Dale Bredesen's book called The End of Alzheimer's, and he details in that book the Recode is what it's called, reverse cognitive decline. He details the Recode protocol. I've also learned about SPECT scans. SPECT scans are far more informative than simple MRI scans, and in the course I'll teach about that too. In this journey of learning about my mom's decline and about Alzheimer's and prevention, I learned how critical it is to know your APOE4 status, and I teach about that too. But basically, we all have two APOE genes, and if you have one gene of the genes, then you have a much increased risk of Alzheimer's. If you have two of them, your risk level goes way up. Well, in our journey, we learned that my husband has two, and my boys each have one. So that was devastating because the risk level goes up so much higher. But additionally, my husband played football at Mizzou, and he had a concussion there. He had one when he was a kid. In our conversations, I've learned he's had 5 major concussions. So oh my God, I freaked out over that. And that combination, that number of concussions, plus having 2 APOE4 genes, meant, plus the way we were eating and living, I mean, we were on a bullet train to dementia. There's just no question about it. And the other thing is with having the average age of getting it is 68. Well, we're 50, so that's like 5 minutes from now. So at that point, I scheduled an appointment for my entire family, actually, to get scanned, SPECT scanned. I had my boys, they're young, I had my boys scanned because they also do a lot with ADHD, and they both have that. I wanted to learn more about if there are better ways to help them. And that's another amazing story. But anyway, what we learned is that my husband's brain is unhealthy. Thankfully, he has no symptoms. But because we are looking at it early, we learned that there are things he needs to do to heal his brain, so we're not on that path to dementia. So, now we're on a journey that I wish I had known about. I could have helped my mom 2.5 years ago. So if I just go too far with that, I just get even more angry. But because it's so sad, Alzheimer's is just a devastating disease. It's just painful. So that's what all this is about. My husband and our future is changed from learning what that protocol that's out there and that dementia can be avoided, prevented, reversed. I mean, there's no guarantees in anything in health, but you can put the odds dramatically in your favor. So I want people to know. I mean, our neurologist didn't know. So there's so many people I've talked to that don't know. And that's our mission, is to help everyone know that it can be prevented and reversed in many cases, especially early on, and help you do it. That's what the course is about, is teaching all the pieces, and then the membership is about making that happen. So for our family, I mean, we're thrilled. The changes have been hard, and we're still working on them, honestly. I mean, we were a fast food, no exercise, sleep when you can, toxin, ignorant, on that fast-moving train to dementia is where we were. But now we're living really more vibrant lives, protecting our brains for dementia, and I feel amazing that we're going to leave a legacy of health to our kids. Believe me, if we can do it, I know anybody can do it. So anyway, when you take the course and join the membership, you're going to take control of your future. There's obviously no guarantees, but the odds, again, will be substantially in your favor, and that's the best we can do. That's the future benefit. The immediate benefits were more than I could have ever imagined. I mean, significant weight loss. I got rid of I had moderate high blood pressure. I got rid of brain fog I didn't even know I had. It was like, I always describe it to people like if you had a film, there was like a film of dirt on your window, you didn't realize it, and then you clean the windows and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's so bright and sunny, like it was unbelievable. Anyway, I feel more optimistic. I have more motivation and drive. I mean, you just can't believe the difference when you treat your body the way it should be treated, and your brain. The benefits are well worth the effort. They really, really are. So sign up for the wait list. You do not want to miss the launch of this course and membership. The offer will never be as good as it is for founding members. So we're going to provide massive benefit and support. The early adopters going to get more attention just because inherently there's going to be fewer people in the beginning, and you're going to get more attention and help and support, and we want your feedback to know what works, what doesn't, what extra support you need, and then we want to be able to share success stories. We're going to change the world between sharing and advocating and letting people know that Alzheimer's can be prevented, and then sharing our own success stories. We will change the world one brain at a time, and that's the goal. And my other personal goal is to change the standard of care in medicine so that this protocol is the standard of care, as it should be, because there is no other care happening. It's just go to the neurologist and get an update on your pill that doesn't work. So, and that's just infuriating and not acceptable. So anyway, click, join, and I would look forward to working with you.